So Sean, what do you want to cover today?
So today's trend topic will be colors.
Colors.
Diving into colors.
Okay, cool. Before we go forward with your presentation too, I think I want to give you a quick rundown. Typically, when when I'm basically managing the designers and when they're setting up a new color story for any particular category, anything new, regardless of season or anything like that. Typically, what I tell them to do is put together like a base color palette. So if you could show them what you prepared, what like Debbie and Valerie did for you.
Yep.
Yeah, so something like this, where I basically tell them to put together like a base colorway. So you see the palette basically for the
line.
capsule group that they're going to put together. Okay. For the most part, I'm not a really big fan of micromanaging designers because it's the designer's job to do the research and have an idea of what's like coming in. But I do give them like certain base ground rules. So first things first is we always have core colors. The core colors are typically going to change, they typically change from like category to category.
Yep.
Definition of categories like bottoms, knits, wovens, or whatever. Like the base color typically changes, but for the most part, there's always a black, there's always a white. I want to say heather gray, but there's a reason why I didn't pull heather gray here too, because I think heather gray is a little overrated.
Okay.
I don't particularly believe in heather gray. It doesn't belong in the core for me. But I mean, I know some designer or some merchandiser is going to watch this shit and be like, what about heather gray? So I'm just going to mention it.
Okay.
But for us, our core colors are typically black, white, and navy.
Yeah.
So those three over there in that corner. Jeff, you see that? Is that on camera?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Like the three colors in the way on that side. I don't know what the camera facing is.
Stage left.
Is whatever. Yeah, there. So like on that side, like those are typically the three colors. And so I include those three colors, or I try to, in every color palette. I mean, like the designer might not put it in their palette because they want their stories to match, but I mean, I always buy that shit, so yeah. And I always tell them, I need a shade of a pop blue, I need a pop green, and I need a pop red.
Okay.
Period. Like, I don't care what kind of green it is. I don't care if they substitute like red for pink or pink for red. You know, I need a warm shade, I need a cold shade, which is the red and the blue, and I need a green. You know, and green's just green. Like I mean, green's like just like a regular color. But then the green could also be like a lime or a turquoise. Like there's a range of greens as well.
There's a lot of shades that can go into there.
Yeah, but like my whole thing is, and this is just like merchandising 101, I just want all my bases covered when it comes to color. And then the nuances of it, like 50% darker, whether they want to use an olive or a sage or like, you know, like all that stuff, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And then I let the designers just like live a little bit. Okay, and so like we have a blue, a green, a red, a black and a white. And so we have all the core colors, and then I always tell them to just like shoot your shot and like don't think about the money, don't think about selling anything. Just pick two colors that you think are really fucking cool. And that's kind of typically how I put together colors range. I just make sure that the bases are covered, and then from there we go forward. I wanted to use our slub knits as an example because we like this fabrication. We've been running it for a long time now. I mean, longer than I've been working. We've been running our slub, and it's a really good fabrication for us. And because of that, it's we do multiple color stories in the slub. And I'm gonna kind of run down how I put together the slub color story for this year. And we're gonna kind of use my strategy of merchandising color. I'm going to use my strategy as kind of like the baseline for everything that you're going to be talking about today. So whenever you show a new color and you kind of describe it, what's going to happen is I'm always going to try to bring it back to like my principles of color assortment, and so you could kind of see how we like put everything together.
Of course,
you'll be the designer today, so to speak. But anyways, so what I did for this year, I will show you right now. So. We have two different color stories in here because we have two different customers. So actually, these are our core colors right here. Navy, white, and black. Okay? And then this is going to be our moderate casual customer. So this is basically the color story that we've been running since the beginning of time. This is the shit that everybody knows, everybody understands, everybody wants to buy. It's very J. Crew, Banana Republic-esque, like very Gap-esque, where it's just basic colors.
It's your basics.
Easy colors that everybody understands. Like let's say the buyer is very uncreative and like a buy the numbers buyer, they're going to buy all this shit, okay?
Definitely.
So that's that. This is my more understandable, but like very contemporary colorway. This is very Buck Mason, very built basics, very like, this is kind of like the new contemporary colorways for knits that is like really hot right now.
Yep.
And this was basically like the heaviest design group right here. These are like the fuck you colors. As
those are my two favorites.
Right,
actually.
and that's typically how it works. Like these are basically the colors that we thought were trending for this year. It's a mauve and some kind of like copper or like workwear, et cetera, et cetera. But this, and we did like a very, very dusty gray olive.
Yeah.
So this is my green shade, this is my red shade, and this is my pop blue shade. Like a slate, like a very, very dark gray olive, and like a very rusty red, okay? And as you can see here, for our moderate color story as well, we have a green shade, like a spearmint color. We got like a coral red, and we got aqua. I don't know. You could call it whatever you want to.
Sky blue. I feel like aqua is kind of more like that. Aqua kind of has more of a green tint.
Right, but like
no,
so
you can, but no, you see
you kind of see the range. You see the assortment,
Yeah.
and the way I typically like talk to like the sales team or like the buying team whenever we buy and everything.
Yep.
Every single time we try to introduce new colors, there's going to be pushback. The buyer or the salesperson or someone is going to tell you, dude, I can't sell that. And I always basically tell them, I don't care, I'm still going to develop it. When you develop, you're not supposed to be thinking about the money. I mean, I will, that's my job. But like, you want to push the boundaries of creativity. You want them to
test the market.
Yeah, you want to develop what looks good.
Yeah.
And then from there, look, like, these two, even though they're the coolest colors, I'm going to probably buy the least out of these.
Yeah.
But then the blues, I'm going to buy really deep and heavy. And honestly, like those three colors over there, that's going to be 40% of my buy anyway.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
Because they're proven.
Right, exactly. They're proven. And so like we play it safe when we buy. But when we're developing colors, I want the full range. And I need a presence of all of these in there, just so all of our bases are covered.
For sure.
Like, because I know like as a consumer, when you go out with a Target, you say, I want to buy a red shirt. You don't know exactly what red. You're going to buy the red that's out in the market or the brand that you believe in, their version of a red. But you need a red.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so like, as long as the bases are covered, I don't really try to pay too much attention to the exact color because that's what I pay my designers to do, you know? But over here, because Slub is such a big group, we put together two different color stories here. And so you see this full presence of color, but that's because there's actually two groups within this full backing, okay? Now, with that context in mind, you want to introduce new colors, or you did your research and you found some trending colors for 22.
Yep.
So let's take a look at it. So,
cool.
Why don't you show me?
Yeah, so picked 5 colors out of what WGSM was talking about as some of the hottest colors, kind of going with what you said, with kind of going with the basics and just where they're seeing it. So first color is Azurite, which is a near indigo shade of blue that will be a boost for next season. Definitely kind of has more of a kind of an indigo color and also has a purplish hue to it. So
it's a little more inky.
Yeah, but this is this is playing off the blue, the navy. It's just and
yeah, because like I was actually saying over here too, it's typically for us, historically for our company, we always did better with like a grayer navy.
Okay.
Nothing like super duper inky. Nothing that feels really purple. Like we like the really cold, sterile navy with like. And so when you look at the navy, you don't really see a lot of inkiness. It's not a very rich navy. It's a very cold, flat navy.
Yeah.
Like, like think of like a suit. You don't want to wear like a super inky suit.
No.
Like that's very but I mean basically, your sources are telling you right now that the inky is starting to come back, right?
Yeah.
So cool.
Going kind of that indigo natural kind of bluish color. So here's some examples. And then the next color is clay. Okay. So clay brings a touch of gray and hints of pink to this earthy, neutral, making it the perfect core color to build pastel palettes around. So again, kind of, they're still embracing nature and these natural palettes and very earth tones to next season.
You know, I should have brought down a pastel color story. Anyways, let's hold that thought. Okay, so the clay, they're talking about that's going to be a pop color that doesn't really fall under any of my rules. So this is going to be a pop color that the designer would probably present to me. But I think the most interesting thing out of what you actually put together there, it complements pastel colors very well. Let's touch base on that again. I wish I brought my fucking pastel color story down here. I didn't. I hope Valerie or Debbie have it in their palette, because when we review it all together, I want to touch on clay again. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, just a couple examples. Ginger Biscuit, they're raving about this color. This actually was a 21 autumn-winter color, but it's so hot, and again, it's staying on trend with the earthy and having those those colors. So
at the risk of sounding like a boomer, we used to call that rust.
Yeah,
now it's ginger
biscuit now. So. And kind of going on to continuing the 70s nostalgic look. So that's 70s is kind of making
it's a retro vibes color.
Exactly.
You remember when we had that retro video and we were talking shit about that?
Yeah, exactly. So this will be a big color for that retro vibes.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So here's some examples. I mean, I love this color. I think it's a great color.
I love how it makes that.
It's a brown, orange.
Yeah, it makes that teal really pop. You see that in the suit? Yeah, that's pretty dope. Okay, cool.
Now, kind of getting back to your palette, this is the new green that they're seeing for next year called Seaweed Green. Again, staying on trend with nature and outdoors. So while this particular shade of green exists outside the designated set of core colors, not really with green, uniform greens overall are foundational to men's dressing, like you said. Applied to everything from shirts and knitwear to outerwear and more, Seaweed Green is versatile, adding a bright note while remaining within the enhanced natural palette.
That green is scary.
I don't like it personally. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, this would be a green that if a designer pitched it to me, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna hold my judgment until I see the fucking sample, but... Okay, here's the thing. Okay, let's see this right here, right? You see that second picture of that dude in the farm? Is that seaweed green?
I mean, I got it off that looks more like a dusty olive.
Yeah, it's like a sage, or something like that, yeah. Okay, well, anyways, let's continue. Yeah. Okay, seaweed green.
And the last color is butter. So soft yellow. Yeah. That borders on cream color neutrals.
Yeah, it's almost off-white, but
adds that pop.
Yeah, not really. Yeah.
I think it's a great color.
I think that's a nice color, actually.
It's a beautiful color.
That's something I like. You know, actually, that would fit in really well with my moderate colorway. You see that? You know, with with those boring colors. If you throw that, like, what is it called?
Butter.
I was gonna say banana, but yeah, like if you throw that color in there, like I think it would actually make things look really new, even though they're not. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, that is the 5 colors that I wanted to highlight on.
Okay, cool. So you have the palettes listed right over there. Why don't you minimize, this. Yeah, why don't you minimize that guy here? And okay, so now let's compare these colors with our current color palettes for what we're planning on doing for Q1. Let's start with the men's first. So we have this here.
Yep.
So for men's, I know that Debbie put together 2 different groups, so 2 different color palettes, okay? Yep. This is the first color palette right here. We're calling this our Big Sur group.
Yep.
And then can you scroll down? And this is our Virtual Escapes group. Okay, so now let's move up to Big Sur and let's compare these color palettes. Okay, so what was that blue called?
Azurite.
Azurite, right? So we
definitely going to be close to that moody blue.
Yeah, so we got our moody blue there. And it's actually funny when Debbie picked out that moody blue, the first comment that I thought was, damn, that should be ink. and now you're showing me this, and so it makes me feel a little bit better about it. So that's going to be our take on this.
Yep.
What's that other color?
Clay.
So, I mean, we got dark khaki, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a mixture between dark khaki and, You know
what I mean? Like, I guess, like, that's what it is. But let's go back to what you were saying, because, like, the clay...
Kind of close to that blonde wood.
Right. Yeah, because what you were saying earlier about how it's a really great complement to pastel colors, right? Now, for me, when I think of pastel, like, I think, like, soft sea. You see soft sea there? That's a pastel tone. Oh, yeah. The coral haze, that's a pretty pastel tone. And then if you scroll down, that's really bright. But, like, soft sea,
Yep.
That's a pastel tone.
Yep.
Okay, she doesn't have a lavender in here, but she has a mauve. You see pink mauve, the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's a pastel color.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, because I mean, we've been running pastel colors for some time, and I know Debbie told me that like she wants to do new, different pastels as well. So I mean, that could probably be the reason why like she doesn't have any like traditional pastels in here.
What makes a pastel a pastel?
Fuck, that's a good question.
Is this kind of
it's
kind of dull. I feel like it's kind of dulled out in a way. It's not as
No, it's like cotton candy. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like cotton candy colors, sort of. Like, dude, why don't you do me
Whenever
a
I
favor?
think of pastels,
Yo,
whenever I think of pastels, I just think of like the Masters golf tournament because everyone's wearing pastel colors. It's pinks and these blues and greens,
pinks, yellows,
and,
mints,
yeah,
and
but
like baby blues, like powder blues, all that stuff.
But I want to.
Why don't you do me a favor? Go on Safari. Let's actually do this shit. Okay, yeah. Look up ice creams. Pharrell. Yeah, ice cream Pharrell, and go to images.
Dude, I remember
Images.
these shoes.
Go to images. Yeah, the ice creams.
Yeah.
Like they play around a lot with pastels. Like if you see like, no, that's not really pastel, but like.
And that's pastel. That blue.
What's up?
That blue. Not really.
Yeah, that's a pastel color.
Those are not pastel.
Yeah, no, those aren't. Those scroll down like it's
Dude,
like,
when did
like those guys right there. You see like that? That's like a pastel color story. You get what I'm saying? Or like
Oh, they're pretty pop.
Yeah,
When were these hot? This was. I think I was in
Ice
like
cream?
middle. I think I was in middle school.
dude, he's still doing production, I think, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
I know he does some collaborations
Pharrell,
with.
guess what? Sean doesn't think you're hot anymore.
Well, I know he does a bunch of collabs with Adidas.
Yeah, like why don't you? Fuck, man. I wish I could do it. You know what? What I'll do is I'll show Jeff some of our like pastel colorways, and
Okay.
you could do like a screen over or something like that for it, so they could see it.
Cool.
The pastel colors are right here, right here. No, oh, is it? They're right here. They're right
So
here.
close, yet so
put
far.
Put the inject right here. Okay, cool. Anyways, we're gonna try shit like that. It's fun. All right. Anyways, all right. So let's move on to the russet, right?
Ginger biscuit, man.
Ginger biscuit. Sorry.
Come on, it's millennial Pantone.
Yeah. All right, bro. Chill out. All right. So
Hey, you're
bronze.
a
Okay, so
millennial.
we got the bronze. Yeah, I know. I know. I am. It's like,
Oh, dang it.
it's cool. And then scroll down.
So yeah, bronze and like
Okay, so we
most of the bronze.
Okay, so we don't have like a russet here, but I was gonna say too, it's really interesting that they're showing that for spring 22. We might be dropping the ball for this guy.
Like I said when I was doing my research, this was an autumn-winter color, but it's so hot right now that it's transferring over
like,
into spring.
Yeah, people just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, dude, if you see that what do you call it? Ginger biscuit?
Ginger biscuit.
When you see ginger biscuit next to that indigo color, right?
Yeah.
They really play well off of each other, you know? And like, yeah, like you get what I'm saying? They play well off each other. So it's like I could see that happening. Yeah, anyways.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Yeah, let's move on to the green.
Cool. Your favorite green.
Yeah, fuck that green, dude.
Seaweed green.
Yeah, you see that? Like
yeah, we don't really.
oh, we do.
Yeah, long green.
Oh my god.
The long green's a little bit lighter,
Yeah.
but
It's even scarier. Oh,
the long green.
yeah, bro, look at that.
I
Like, look at
agree.
it. It's even scarier, bro. Like,
I agree.
like, look at me talking shit about this green, and I'm a designer putting together an even crazier one. It's like, of course they would. Yeah, but yeah, well, whatever. I mean, we'll see it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna look good. I mean, I saw all of her designs, and honestly,
They're amazing.
Yeah, they were amazing. So I don't think like, I'm just kidding, Debbie. Don't get mad. But anyways, and then the butter.
Butter, which is
We got golden
cream.
That's a hell of a name. Golden cream.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
What?
What?
Yeah, dude, I'm thinking about food. What are you thinking of? All right, so
Gold.
yeah, so for the most part, I want to say for the most part, I think for all the new trending colors, I do think that we have some kind of representation of it peppered in throughout the line.
Agreed.
I mean, I can see we're going in the right direction, you know? So it's like, I mean, it's...
And again, if you look at the story, again, it is very earthy,
Yeah.
these kind of natural palettes. And
Right.
when you look at, our designers' colors as well, it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely, you know? And so it's
they
like...
touch it all.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have some kind of presence of it here, but you know, I will tell you this right now, that butter color, I'm definitely gonna put that in some of our fashion basics, like this shit right here.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna fit in really well.
Yeah.
So I gotta get on that. I'll probably talk to Kyle about that.
It's a nice kind of rendition of like, instead of wearing white or a very bright yellow, it's a muted yellow.
Right,
so
exactly, yeah.
It's kind of like a khaki, not a khaki, like a light beige.
You know, historically, yellow's never sold. I don't remember a time when yellow was a cool color. Who knows? Maybe things are gonna change now. You know. All right. Well, let's look at Valerie's color.
Cool.
All right. Cool. So if we compare this to, all right. First things first. Before we go forward with this, I do want to say one thing. So Valerie designs are young men's.
Yep.
And we're doing basically like, in a really dumbed down way of saying it, Valerie would probably not be happy with the way that I'm saying this right now, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it anyway. It's our WXYZ line.
Yep.
It's basically dumbed down mainstream streetwear for high school kids.
Yeah.
Like I gotta say that
That's
first and foremost.
That's the demographic.
Right. Yeah. So that's like I gotta say that first and foremost before we start, because Valerie's color card is a lot less complex than Debbie's is, but it also. Oh, okay. First off, though, before I even say anything, she has true pastel colors in here. So like slush pink, lavender, rainwater. Like that's pastel.
Yep.
Like you kind of get the vibe of pastel, right?
Even
by looking
that
at this.
lime is kind of pastel.
Sort of, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
That's a stretch.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, yeah. So I mean, like, and she has that lime in there for pops for the most part. So like, yeah, but like that's typically what a pastel like colorway looks like.
Definitely.
That's like a great example of that. Okay, and then you throw in a white and like a cloud, you know, and now you throw in the sand. You see that? You see, Valerie's already kind of doing it.
Yep. With the clay and sand is
right.
pretty damn close.
Right, and I know she doesn't have a pop blue in here. I'm giving her an exception for this because, for real, like for this line, like blues just don't sell well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like high school kids, they don't really do blues. Like, I mean, we have the Twilight in there.
The reds and the yellows or the pops,
right.
those sell.
Right. But I mean, we have a navy. You know, like so we have like a very basic blue, like just cause. But even then, dude, like she rarely uses that.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding you, dude. Like it's like you don't see a whole lot of.
I feel
blues.
again. I feel like the navy is a men's play.
Yeah, and dude, navy's just not straight, bro.
No.
It's not.
It's not straight. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's
like,
soft.
It's such a white color, you know. It's like it's just.
It's just a soft color. It's
Right.
not. It's not hard. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not grungy enough.
Right. So and then like what is it? Ginger biscuit. I mean that's. I mean that's interesting, man.
It's again. I think this is a true men's play color. It doesn't
like,
really fall in
that's-
line with young men's.
I agree with that. That's straight men's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have the tiger red. You know, somewhat close.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely has more of a
Less sophisticated. It's more saturated and like.
it has more of an orangey tint to it. But
right. Yeah. And then what is it? Like
seaweed green.
yeah, that green, like it's somewhere between golf green and lime.
Right in
so
the middle.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we don't.
Butter is. I mean,
That's another soft color. That's
Very
not straight.
true, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. All right.
no, I mean, this is the young men's color palette.
Right.
I mean, you can obviously see the difference between these and the men's.
Yeah.
It's-
Let me put it this way: if Pharrell was creating a new color palette for ice creams, it would look like this.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, so that's like the whole thing. So yeah. All right. Cool. So I mean, that's pretty much like all I got.
That's all I got too.
The one takeaway that I have is I don't think we're utilizing the, what do you call it, ginger biscuit?
Ginger biscuit.
Yeah, I don't think we're utilizing russet that much, you know, but I think that's something that we should consider looking at.
Yeah,
You know,
I think it's a beautiful color.
yeah, maybe we'll throw a couple items in, there.
Yeah.
And I mean, not only that too, it's like Debbie and Valerie mostly, like they develop like fashion items.
Yeah.
Like they play around a lot with prints. They play around a lot with like color blocking and shit like that. Like I'm thinking right now for like trendy hot colors like this. Like I'm gonna play around with these colors, and this color research is really gonna help us develop this.
Yeah.
You know, like our core business.
We kind of had that ginger biscuit color
Sort of.
in that. Remember that color block MBXT? It's navy, a rust, and
Yeah, but that's more like a copper, though. I think.
Yeah, I guess
I think
so.
it's like more of a copper. It's like it's more along that line.
No, it was darker, man.
Yeah,
It was a
Yeah.
darker rust.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, we might, but I mean, I do think we should be a little bit more aggressive with that. That's one takeaway that I
make
got.
it more of the prime
Right,
color
and you know
an
what?
accent color.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm definitely gonna start cutting that butter too. Like I think
it's a nice.
yeah, I think
it's nice.
those two I'm kind of like you're kind of selling me on that, and even the sand. I mean, they're all cool.
The clay,
Yeah, but clay, my bad. But yeah, dude, I don't know about that green though, man.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna X-nay on that one
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I don't know about that green. All right, cool. Well, anyways, thank you for putting together the presentation, and yeah, I mean, till next time, I guess.
Till next podcast.